Here's the mistake. Most people think an emergency fund is about how much money they save. It's not. The real mistake is where they keep it. And it quietly costs them in two directions at once. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how big your fund should be, how to figure out your own number in about 2 minutes, where it should actually live, how to build it faster than you think, and the two mistakes that quietly drain it. Let's get into it. An emergency fund has one job: cover a surprise expense, a car repair, a medical bill, a sudden gap in income, without you reaching for a credit card. And that matters. Because according to the Federal Reserve's latest survey, more than a third of American adults, 37%, say they could not cover even a $400 emergency using cash. So when the surprise hits and there's no fund, the bill goes on a card, and the average credit card charges over 22% interest right now. That's the second cost. You don't just pay for the emergency, you pay interest on it for months afterward. The fund exists so a bad day doesn't turn into a bad year. So let's figure out your number, because it's simpler than most people make it. Grab a piece of paper, write down only what you'd absolutely have to pay if your income stopped tomorrow, not your whole lifestyle. The essentials: rent or mortgage, utilities, food, insurance, transportation, minimum debt payments. Let me use a simple example. Say your rent is $1,500, utilities $200, groceries $600, insurance $150, transportation $250, and minimum debt payments $200. Add those up and you're at $2,900 a month in true essentials. That number times 3 is your starter target, about $8,700. Times 6 is your full target, roughly $17,400. 3 months if your income is steady, closer to 6 if your income is variable, you're self-employed, or you're the only earner in your household. Do this with your real numbers and you'll have a target in about 2 minutes. And a target you can actually see is a target you can actually hit. Now, if that full number feels impossible right now, don't freeze and don't quit before you start. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's own guidance is to begin with a small starter fund first. Even 1 month of essentials and even $500 completely changes your options in a crisis. You are not behind, you're starting. Here's the part people get wrong once they start saving. They keep the emergency fund in their regular checking account. 2 problems. 1, if it's sitting right next to your spending money, you spend it. It doesn't feel separate, so it isn't. 2, a standard checking account usually pays you almost nothing, while a high-yield savings account pays meaningfully more. So the money quietly loses ground to inflation just by sitting in the wrong place. The fix is boring, and it's powerful. Keep your emergency fund in a separate FDIC insured high-yield savings account, ideally at a different bank than your checking. Separate enough that you won't touch it by accident. Liquid enough that you can move it in a day or 2 when you actually need it. And a quick word on the alternatives, because people ask. A high-yield savings account or a money market account are both great homes. They pay a competitive rate and you can get your money fast. Certificates of deposit or CDs usually pay a bit more, but they lock your money up for a set term, and pulling it out early normally means a penalty. That penalty is the problem, because the entire point of this money is that it's there the instant you need it. So the rule of thumb is simple. Keep your core emergency fund somewhere liquid, savings or money market. CDs are fine for money you're sure you won't touch, but that's not what this is. Now let's talk about building it faster, because save 3 to 6 months of expenses can sound like climbing a mountain. 3 things speed it up. First, automate it. Set an automatic transfer into that separate account every single payday, even a small amount. Automating it is the single biggest predictor of whether the fund actually gets built, because it removes the decision. Second, aim your windfalls at it. tax refunds, work bonuses, birthday money, a side gig payout, send a chunk straight into the fund before it melts into everyday spending. A single tax refund can fund an entire starter emergency fund in one move. Third, start smaller than feels serious. $10 a payday, 20. The number matters far less than the habit, and you can always turn it up later. Momentum is what you're building first. The balance follows. Now, the opposite mistake, because some people overcorrect, they hear make your money work, and they put the emergency fund into stocks, or lock it into a long-term CD, or send it off into an investment account. That defeats the whole purpose. The value of an emergency fund is that it's there and stable the exact moment you need it. If the market is down 20% the week your car dies, the last thing you want is to sell investments at a loss just to fix it. An emergency fund is not an investment. Its job is safety and access, not growth. Growth is what the rest of your money is for once this foundation is in place. Let me also knock down the 3 excuses that stop people from starting, because you might be thinking one of them right now. First, I have debt, so I shouldn't save. Not quite. Even while you're paying down debt, a small starter fund keeps the next surprise from pushing you deeper into that debt. Build a little cushion first, then attack the debt. Second, I'll just use a credit card if something happens. That's not an emergency fund. That's borrowing at over 22%, which is the exact trap we're trying to avoid. And third, I can't afford to save anything. If money is genuinely tight, start with $10. This was never about the amount. It's about proving to yourself that the system works. So here's the whole thing in one line. Figure out your essential monthly expenses. Aim for 3 to 6 months of them. Keep it in a separate FDIC insured high yield savings account and build it with automation and windfalls. Not in checking, not in the stock market. Here's what to do today, and it takes about 10 minutes. Open one separate high yield savings account, nickname it Emergency Do Not Touch. Set up an automatic transfer of even a small amount every payday. And if you get a refund or a bonus this year, send a piece of it straight there. That's it. That's the whole system. Quick note before you go. This is general educational information, not personalized financial advice. Your situation is your own. So for decisions specific to you, talk to a licensed professional. If this made the emergency fund finally make sense, subscribe. Next video, I break down exactly where your money should go once this fund is full in plain English. I'll see you there.